All right, a little bit of a late upload on this Wednesday evening, but that's all right. You guys won't mind. But today I'm going to do something a little bit different and talk about a game that I don't think gets enough love and talked about a lot. Mainly because it's a pretty old game. It's like 14, 15 years old at this point. So, um, yeah, I forget when exactly it came out. It was like March 4th of 2010, I believe it was, when this game came out on the PSP in the Japanese region, which I'll get into that in a second because that's one thing that bothers me about a lot of these like really good Japanese exclusive games that no one knows about because they're stuck in Japan, and unless you're like a diehard fan of a franchise or a series, whatever, you won't seek these out and find these. And that game is what I actually had the soundtrack for, and I'm gonna pull it out because it's right here by me. Dot Hack Link, and I'm gonna have the soundtrack, the limited edition version of it, by the way, that has the wallpapers and all that stuff. But I'm gonna talk about the game today because I finally finished it after having it for like 12 years or something like that. Because I bought the game on Amazon, um, probably back in like 2013, 2014, something like that, and I started playing through it and I really enjoyed it. And then like I don't know, I just kind of took a break for like a decade or so, and then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna mod my PSP and I'm gonna download the English patch and patch it and rip my game and patch it to my game and then play it that way. And that's how I played through like the rest of the majority of the game. Now there were instances where I had to switch between English and Japanese versions or the English translation and the Japanese version because it does have like freezing issues. So if you guys do wind up downloading this game, patching it, and whatever else, just know that you may have to switch in between versions if because there is one point in the game where it does get stuck and you have to um, switch out to the Japanese version because you can't get past the point it just freezes. I don't know why. I don't think they're gonna fix that issue. I don't even know who to report it to. So who knows if they're gonna fix it? I doubt it because the last time it was updated was earlier last year. So I think it was like January or something like that. So I doubt they'll fix like freezing issues like that, but it happens kind of sporadically throughout. But that's not a part of the game that it happens no matter what you do. It freezes. Some of the freezing happens during when you open menus and go into certain menus and stuff. It just locks up for some reason. Probably has something to do with the way they like recoded the text in the game or something. Because it's not meant to look like American English text. It's meant to look like Japanese text. So maybe that has some. Maybe that messed up some of the code of the game or something. I don't know because I'm not that technical minded of a person when it comes to like coding and stuff like that. Should I be? Should I learn it? Probably because then I would go in and fix it myself if I knew how to do it, and then it would be a fixed ROM because I have nothing but time. So maybe one of these years I'll sit down and teach myself the code so I can help projects like that because this is something I really do think people need to play because it is a very good game. If you played the GU series specifically, it's more in line with the way that works than the original Diac 1 through 4. So there is that. If you've never played any Diac games, I would say your best bet is to start out with GU so you get a feeling for how the game plays. If you want to check this game out, start with GU first and then go to this. And then if you want to get like the full lore of the game and the world and all that stuff, play the original 4 games because that really would give you a good understanding of what the world is, what Dot Hack is, and then watch the animes as well. And if you want to go really deep into it, read the mangas as well. which I have not done. I'm not a big manga reader. I'm not even a big book reader. I've never really enjoyed sitting down to read a book. The only kind of books I ever read is like strategy guides for games and stuff. But yeah, basically the gist of the story is you play as someone named Tokyo. He's I believe he's like 14 or 15 years old or something. I don't know if they ever specifically say how old he is. And he's basically in high school. I believe it said he was a junior or something like that. And I'm like, okay, then he has to be like 15 or 16. But I don't know, maybe it's a mistranslation. I don't know. Basically, he goes into the world, starts playing the world. Then eventually he gets like roped into doing this project with someone named Saika that she tells him is like going back and fixing anomalies in different time periods um, pertaining to the world. Like the world art revision 2, because their world is like the world RX, I believe. And then like just different versions of the world. You go back in time basically and fix all the anomalies they find. Um, but later on in the game, well, if you guys care about spoilers, stop the video now. If you plan to play the game, if you don't, just be forewarned. I'm going to spoil basically the main story plot of the game, or from what I can gather. Because like I said, I played through like a decent chunk of the game Japanese, so I wasn't really comprehending the story. And then just recently, I picked it back up and played through the rest of it with the English translation, which I would say is like 95, 96% accurate. So I'm just going off what I was able to gather from what I gathered from the story from the point on that I started playing the English translation. And if there's issues wrong with the translation, that's not on me. That's on them. So just be forewarned. What I might talk about might not be exactly what it's about, but it's the gist of it. Basically, Saika's brother got like somehow so wrapped up in the world or like tied up into it that he got trapped there, and that was her real motivation to find her brother to get enough what the hell were they called? Like like chrono cores. I think they're called chrono cores. Basically enough things to like unprotect the I forget how to pronounce it. It's like it starts with an A. The tower, the Riker tower thing, where all the Rikers are kept of like the world and where they go to time travel and stuff like that. Um, so basically, she finally tells the truth after her like online persona, Aika, tells her because Aika like lives in her head. It's very weird. Like this is the part of the story that didn't make sense to me. Like, how can she interact with her in-game persona in her head if like she's not in the world? I don't know, because the way Aika was talking was like she could have been a separate person or something. So I don't know. That part of it didn't really make sense to me. I was like, this doesn't make freaking sense. But whatever, it's a video game, whatever. But basically, Aika tells Saika to tell Tokyo the truth about what he's actually doing. And then she like reluctantly tells him. And then he's like, oh, I'll help you anyway, blah, blah, blah. And then CC Corp, the people that made the world in the game, which is kind of funny because CC is like CyberConnect. So maybe it's like their in-game company, I guess. I guess they're trying to like, because that's what I think is CC stands for, is probably CyberConnect. But I'm just guessing with that. But that would be funny if that's what it actually stood for. But anyway, so eventually they find out that he's kind of been affected by Ida, which is something from the GU universe, which is why I said you kind of want to play GU because a lot of Link takes place like kind of in the GU universe, in the GU timeline, and the Roots timeline as well. So that's why I kind of say, well, you want to play that first before you play Link. Um, but then, like, after, like, he like transforms into like this monster form. Then it gets destroyed. He gets hospitalized because if you if you take like heavy damage in the world to like a bug or something, it affects you in the real world. Dot Hack is a very like weird universe. You really have to like watch the anime to understand what the hell I'm talking about because it sounds like a bunch of nonsense, but it makes sense if you get the context of the show. So basically, the rest of the game is you trying to like stop the world from basically um, kind of collapsing, but also like drawing people into it into the I forget what they call it because basically the last boss of the game is basically the god or goddess of the world, Aura, but she was corrupted by what the hell was his name? Geist? I believe Geist was the one that corrupted her. It was basically an AI persona that was tricking Saika into thinking that she was helping her brother when in actuality she was helping the AI get control of Aura and basically warping her and corrupting her into the final boss, which is the Queen of Demise, which is a really cool name and the character design of her, not like the big dragon like thing, but like the final design of like her is like a teenage like devil looking lady girl thing. It looks really freaking cool, like red eyes, just like war paint and stuff. It looks pretty cool. If I can find a picture of it, I'll post it up here. But I think it looks really cool. Um, but Aura is like usually a little girl, like probably like 6 to 7 years old. Mentally, like she's a child, but that is the embodiment. She is the embodiment of like the world. So if she dies or gets corrupted, the world starts to like collapse in on itself or basically be non-existent because that's how Harold, the creator of the world, kind of designed it. I guess as like a failsafe. I guess I don't know. It's like I said, it's a very strange thing if you don't know the universe of Dot Hack to try to explain it. But that's like the simplest way I can explain it. Um, but yeah, just the overall game itself is like super good. Like the cross Rengeki stuff from GU is still present. It's still really fun. I believe the affection meter was in GU as well. That stuff is kind of annoying because I'm not really sure what that does. Excuse me. I just ate dinner like an hour ago, so bear with me. But I'm not really sure what the affection meter does besides affect like the cross Rengeki meter because you have nice, good, and then when you get it up far enough, you get the excellent, which is a bright yellow meter. And the better you do during like the back and forth, hitting the enemy back and forth when you enter the Rengeki mode, the more your meter goes up. And when your meter goes up, you can actually do the I believe it's called like Cross Rengeki X or something like that. Whatever like the super move is, or like the team attack move between you and your unison partner is when you build up the meter. Those are usually pretty cool. There's a lot of pretty cool ones, and during some of those like sequences, there are little heart buttons that come up that are either square, triangle, circle, or X, and then you press them, and then it makes like a beep noise. I don't know what that does. I don't know if it adds extra damage or what. I don't know, but that it is a thing. I don't remember it being a thing in GU, but it might have been because it's been a while since I played all the way through GU last recode. Um, so yeah, but my only main gripe with this game is um, And I believe GU had this problem too. And the original .X, as far as I can remember, didn't have this problem. Granted, it's been like probably 20 years since I've even thought about playing those. I want to play them again since I just played through that. It's kind of made me want to play through the original ones again. But the gameplay style of that is way different than the GU and Link game. So, like, it's going to be kind of a big step back in the way the gameplay is because at least in GU and Link, they kind of streamlined a bunch of the stuff, like choosing your moves and all that stuff. They streamlined a bunch of that, so it's less menu intensive and more just action oriented. But it's not a big deal. I'm not saying don't play the original four. Please do. They're very good games. Um, and of course, you're gonna have to emulate them unless you want to pay like out the ass for part four because it's like $200. So yeah. But anyway, getting back to what I was saying with my gripe with the game. Like I said, in the original four parts, I don't think this was an issue. But in GU and in Link, you have to level up your partner characters yourself. They don't level up themselves at all. Now, I believe in the original DX, at least they kind of leveled themselves up to a point. And I say to a point because I know for a fact, like once they get to a certain point, a certain level, I vaguely remember them not leveling up anymore, but they were still like in the 60s and 70s, I believe, or at least 60s. And GU, I believe GU was the same way. At least in Link, I know this for a fact. Your unison partner, which you can only have one other partner, in GU you can have two partners, and in the original you can have two partners as well. So you and two other characters, basically three characters. But in Link, it's two characters for some reason. I don't know. Maybe they just didn't think the PSP could handle three characters on screen at once. I don't know, but it is the way it is. Anyway, so give you a quick example here about the problem I have. Okay, with the game. So let's say you're at level 65 and you go into a part of the timeline where your recommended level, it says, is like 62 or whatever. Okay, cool. You're three levels ahead, so you should have no issue, right? Well, wrong. You won't have an issue unless you like wasting a bunch of your gold points or GP and buying revive potions and healing items to heal your unison party member because they're still stuck at level 40 whatever, 50 whatever level they basically are at base when you get them. Unless you use them a bunch in like parts you're not supposed to pick a certain person, then they're not going to level up themselves, which is really annoying. Because give you a case in point, Tsukasa, one of my favorite characters in the anime and in the game, and they have a really cool move. That's why I wanted to max their unison meter out, their affection meter. I did that. Yes, it helps build up the Cross Rengeki X move, the super move, a lot. But the problem is, they're only at level like 52 or whatever. And I'm sitting here at like level like 89 by the end of the game, or like 82 or whatever it was. Something like that. And it's like, well, crap, if I bring Tsukasa to the last battle, he's going to get his ass kicked. Which is what I did. And what do you think happened? He got his ass handed to him. Like one hit, he was instantly dead. And I was like, well, frig, who am I going to bring? So I wound up bringing one of the last people you get in the game as a unison member of Fugle, or Flugel. I don't know how to pronounce his name. I think it's Fugle, I think. But you get him at the very like tail end of the game. And he's at level like 68 or 69, which is still pretty low for what it recommends with the boss. I think it was like 70 whatever or something like that. I can't remember exactly off the top of my head, but basically I picked him and was able to do it my second try. I died once because I messed up a couple times, but second try I did it. But my point being is, why did they design it that way to where the characters wouldn't like at least get leveled up to a point where they're not going to just instantly get annihilated when they go into like a later level of the game? Like, yeah, the nerd in me wants to do what I did with GU because I maxed out every effing character in that game, and it took a while, but at least that game had the arena fights, and you could do like high level opponents and get a lot of experience. This game don't have that, so like, there's no easy way to like level up your character or characters. So that's my only gripe with it, and that's a really small gripe. Other than that, like the game is freaking amazing. If you've played any of the Dot Hack games, I implore you guys, download the PSP emulator if you don't have a PSP or a modded PSP. Download this ROM, patch it, then play through the game, and it's freaking amazing. I wish it would have gotten an official translation and brought stateside. I'm not saying full English voice it. I'm not even saying that. Like, I don't care. As long as they would have just brought the damn game over and I could have just read what characters were saying and it still would have been Japanese, I wouldn't care. It wouldn't bother me one damn bit. I wouldn't have been bothered. Would it be cool if they would English voice it and all that stuff? Yeah, for sure. Especially for like my brother, so I wanted to read him everything, but whatever. But my point is that it's just a shame that Bandai Namco and CyberConnect 2 didn't think this game would sell well over here. Which maybe Dot Hack was way more popular over in Japan. I honestly don't know. Because to be honest with you, if I had to take a guess, because after this game, I think that was the newest game until like the weird mobile game that they got, which I'm not even sure what that is. But I know there's like a iOS game or something. And then we got the remaster of the GU games last Recode. But that's been it. We haven't had a new Dot Hack game in like, if you count the remaster, which I think was, when was that? Hold on, let me check. I honestly don't remember off the top of my head when they came out. I remember buying it, but I don't remember when it came out. Give me 1 second, I'm gonna look it up. Okay, it was in 2017 it came out for PS4 and Steam. It didn't come out till 2022 for Switch, which I do have two versions of the Switch. I have the like Bandai Namco store exclusive US release, and then I also have the Japanese like collector's edition release because I'm a nerd. Let me justify this for you guys. I know it'll sound dumb, but I didn't think we'd get the collector's edition with the soundtrack and stuff, so that's why I bought it. And then like a week later, they announced the Bandai Namco store version of the US version that basically was the same thing. So I was like, well, I'm gonna have two versions. So that's why I have two versions of it. So yeah, like we haven't had one in what, like 8 years, basically. So are they ever gonna do anything else with Dot Hack? Probably not at this point. Is it a shame? Yes. I really do hope someday we get the original 4 plus Fragment. That would be, even if they just did Fragment, like if they just gave us Fragment, which is the online PS2 game, which still has a community today if you patch it with the English patch and do some shenanigans that I'm not really sure how to get up and running, but I know it's possible to do. Um, Even if they did that, I would be like through the moon fucking excited. Like, holy shit. But I really do think they need to do the original 4 games. At least port them over. For frick's sake, you didn't even do that big of a remaster on Recode. All you did was basically like tweak some of the graphics, make it clean it up a little bit. Like it looks a little different and made some slight like gameplay tweaks and like added one little like epilogue story thing. And also apparently according to one of the voice actors that I met, he specifically told me they went back in and revoiced some stuff from like the original version. They redid some stuff, is what he told me. The voice actor of Haseo, which, if you guys don't know, his name is Yuri Lowenthal. He also does the voice of Smoke in Mortal Kombat 1 and Sasuke in Naruto. So there you go, a little trivia for you guys. If you guys care about that, probably not. But he's a really nice guy, by the way. He was actually surprised that I brought that. He was like, "Wow, I don't think anyone's ever brought .hack stuff for me to sign." He was like, "Yeah, I really enjoyed doing this game." He's like, "Did you know we redid some stuff for this version?" I'm like, "No." He's like, "Yeah, well, we had to go back in and revoice some stuff." So I don't know if he was misremembering or talking about the PS2 version or what, but maybe they redid some stuff with like the new. Maybe he was talking about the new epilogue stuff. I don't know because that was new to the game for GU last recode, but other than that, like that's the last game we've had was last recode. So like I don't know, man. Like this makes me sad because like now that I've finished Link, there's no new Die game for me to play besides Fragment. If I can figure out how to set up the online stuff with the PS2 emulator, PCSX2 or whatever it's called. Um, but yeah, man, I'm just really bummed that I'm technically done with the game. Like I'm not really done with it. Like if I really wanted to go like balls to the wall with it, I would max out every character and all that stuff. But that would be way too tedious with this game. If it was GU, I'd do it, but it's not. So I'm probably just gonna call it done with this. So oh, one more thing I forgot to mention is when you get to the end of the game, there are 3 characters you probably won't be able to unlock unless you understand Japanese and know how to read like the Japanese language. And plus, I don't think you can get all the titles you need for your Link card, which is part of the game, to unlock these 3 hidden characters, which are Helba, Ovan, and some weird character that I have no idea what they're even from, but it's Kite, but it's a different version of Kite. And in parentheses, it says Sora. So, who Sora is? I have no idea. The Sora I think of is the Twin Blade character from the original Daihack. That's the Sora I think of when I think of Sora, not the blue-haired kite rip-off looking kid who starts at level 1, by the way. So, yeah, that would be real fun. And how I got them was I basically loaded in to the PSP emulator, loaded in the cheat database, basically turned on the cheat to unlock all Unison characters and like member address characters. And that gave me all the characters. Then I saved it and transferred it back to my PSP. So I have a fully complete copy of my save. So, yeah. Um, I'm trying to think of anything else I didn't talk about. Besides the link play thing, like being able to play with like online multiplayer with another person, I don't know if you can anymore, but that would have been a cool idea. You can still single player do it, but it's kind of annoying how it works. I don't want to go into the details of it, but basically, when you get to the boss area of the online arena, they basically randomly switch bosses on you because the three bosses you fight at once. Well, not at once, but like three bosses spawn in at three different points on the map, and then if you're playing with like whatever other people you're playing with, will I'm assuming this will have those those different bosses on their part of the map, and eventually they just swap out when it's on like a timer based thing. They swap out and then they swap in a new one to your area. The problem is if you do it in single player mode, like I was doing it, or just with one person, it takes like 2 to 3 minutes when they swap out for a new one to swap in because the game doesn't know where to put it because it thinks you're probably playing with another person, which you're not because I don't think there's a way to anymore with the PSP. Hell, I can't even connect my PSP to my Wi-Fi because it uses uh, WPAS WPA2 or some newer kind of encryption that the PSP can't see. Could I change it? Yes, but why? Why do I need to log on to the internet with my PSP anymore? I don't, so it's not a big deal. But other than that, like, there's not really much else to say about Dynamic Link. But I would be interested in doing like a playthrough of it for you guys. If you guys would want to see that, let me know. I would I would really want to do it on the emulator because plugging in the PSP to the TV and then like plugging it in to make sure it doesn't die while I'm playing it would be kind of annoying. So emulating it would be easier just for like filming purposes. But let me know if that's something you guys would want to see. There's not like a really full, good, comprehensive playthrough of it on YouTube. And I could either do it with commentary or without commentary. Just let me guys know what you guys want, if that's something you guys want to see. Or would you guys want me to stream it? Let me know. Because I can easily set that up if that's what you guys would want. Let me know in the comments below. Hope you guys enjoyed this rambly video about me talking about Dynamic Link. I know it wasn't the most interesting video for a lot of you guys probably, but I don't know. I really enjoyed it. I wanted to talk about it a little bit. So, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you guys had a good Wednesday. This has been Rolling with Kevin, and I am rolling out. Peace. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you did enjoy it, please don't forget to leave a like, comment down below, subscribe, click the bell button so you get notified when I upload videos, go live, or post on my community page. Shout out to go to my Patreon supporters, Sunny Silva, Catfish Cat, Lee Fernay, Team Dale, Elliot Scott, Preliab, Harry Fernandez, William Swift, AJ Gottawa, Oliver Friedrich, Len Ernhorn, Marcus Mahaley, Brianna, and the Pay Now Please, Nuclear Reactive Man, Rebecca H., Just Good Enough, Gorgon Kaluskovic, Justin M. Daggins, Daniel Childs, Patrick Oliver, and Harold Huckabee. Thank you guys so much for supporting my channel. If you want to support my channel, it's only $1 a month. That's all I ask. It really does help with the channel a lot. Thank you guys so much for supporting and watching. If you did enjoy this video, I'll see you guys in the next video.